Sometimes it's simply a little nudge in a hard season telling you not to give up. You find yourself at yet another crossroads, but just remember you are a daughter of the Most High. He won't lead you astray. Walk with Him and remember what's in your heart, even if you're looking at a life you don't recognize, or pieces to a puzzle with no picture as a guide. You may not know what you're building or where you'll end up, but whatever new version of you this is, when you're ready, it's time to reset.
Hey, it's been a while. I'm back and vlogging a day in the life today. It's been a few months since I've picked up the camera and done a vlog. Well, shoot, more than a few months. Landon is about to be 6 months tomorrow, so it's definitely been more than a few months for sure. But yeah, if you are new here and you are wondering what is going on, my name is Tatiana, and I just had a baby back in February. So this is me showing up, getting back into the swing of things, or trying to get back to the swing of things, and just wanted to share a little bit of how I've been and what I'm doing to get back to me, because it's so important. After having a baby, this will be baby number 2 that we had, and I definitely had my time for sure, and there's still maybe more time to come of just dealing with the transition of having a baby and everything, what all of that is, and just also having to take a pause from a lot of things that I usually do, and that is YouTube, my membership, my business, and all of those things. And so I've been slowly coming back and really felt the urge to vlog this week. I just dropped Emery, my daughter, off at her micro school. We started homeschool a couple weeks ago, so today was her first day going back to that. She goes once a week. And yeah, so I'm getting ready to go back home. I am in a reset season. Lots of transitions and just trying to navigate what life looks like now. I've been starting to feel more encouraged and more motivated and wanting to get back into showing up on here and getting my business back up and running. And right now I'm just in another reset. I have these occasionally, when we have different changes and things that happen. And I'm really wanting to just redefine who I am, what I'm doing, what I'm known for. I just kind of want to redefine, refresh everything. I don't know if you feel like you are in that season, then this is definitely going to be the vlog for you, because I want to share ways in the past that I have done this and what I'm planning to do to just give myself out of this hole that I feel like I'm in, and just really wanting to just get back to me and whatever that me is. It's going to definitely be a newer version, but you okay? What's wrong? What happened? But anyway, I'll talk more about this, but just wanted to say, hey, welcome back, or welcome. I'm back and excited to be here. All right, we're back. And this is Landon, okay? Official introduction to my sweet boy. Yes. And he is in his blowing bubbles phase, y'all, okay? So anyway, I think I'm gonna make a smoothie. It's been a little bit, but I was thinking on the way here, I was like, you know what? I should make that. I did have some eggs earlier, and I'm still starving. So I'm gonna do that. And I think I'm gonna make my one, I call it the berry intentional smoothie. I'll definitely have to put the recipe, because for a while was like really obsessed with smoothies all of the time, and I kind of named some of them, like coining the names that kind of fit with my Inspired Blueprint brand. But yeah, I'm making that one, and so it's got frozen blueberries. Let me go get the carrier. Baby wearing is literally everything in this season, so let me go get that. Okay. I used to use that little like cloth wrap carrier, but he has gotten so much heavier. So now I've switched to this one. I just got this one a couple weeks ago before we went to Ohio for a birthday trip, y'all. It was so good. My family surprised me with a party and just like just a couple of days worth of stuff. So I'll talk more about that trip. because, yeah, I really had to unpack it, honestly. It was really nice. I like to use the wild blueberries. I got this big bag from, I want to say Costco. I want to say it was Costco, but they're really good. Half a banana. I know. Oh wait, hold on. Is this supposed to be? This supposed to be down. Hold on, Linda. Let's adjust a little bit. Yeah, I know he probably like, lady, what is happening? Mother, what is going on? Okay, there we go. Is that better? Is that better? Okay. So we got banana, cinnamon. I love cinnamon in pretty much everything, so I get a little bit hearty with it. I also have flax seeds and chia seeds. I need to put my chia seeds in a cute little container again. I've just been sitting in this bag. I do like to put a little oatmeal, just like a sprinkle, because I like to make this thing filling, y'all. Okay? Filling. And then a little sprinkle of this PB Fit powder. Sometimes I'll use peanut butter, but I really don't have much peanut butter left. Need to go to the grocery store. So I'm just popping this in here for a little taste. It's about a tablespoon. I just eyeball it. Some milk. More than half milk and then the rest water. And y'all, I get to enjoy the smoothie alone, because usually Emery is always trying to get into it. I'm gonna put a little spinach in here too, and then I'm gonna blend it out. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is not exactly how he needs to be in this thing. I need to look at the instructions on this thing. I mean, I'm holding him, so he's fine, but I feel like his arms are kind of sticking out of the top. I did it at the airport, and he was front facing, and I can't remember what I did. Was this it? Or were your arms? Let's kind of do that. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm really excited to drink this. Okay, I'm also trying to figure out how to use this camera, so this vlog is probably going to be a little bit interesting because my husband got me the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera for Mother's Day, and I really have not played around with it too much. This is my first time really using it, especially like in this capacity. So yeah, y'all have to bear with me as I relearn a camera. I still have my other one, but I really wanted to test this out. I'm like, I have it, so why not? Excuse me, sir, are you getting some smoothie? Rude. All right, let's see. That looks so good, and there's extra too, so I might put that up for a little bit later. Now, see, Emery really could have had some, because I mean, this is a lot. This is a lot. Does anybody else always have to like rinse out their straw before they use it? Okay. Oh yeah. I want to talk about things that I'm doing and things that I have done to just reset. And I just feel like it's so different than just like, you know, I'm in a slump type of season. When you go through a big life change, a lot of times you feel like you are in foreign territory, and the version of you that you thought you knew is no longer. And so that's really what I wanted to share about with you in this vlog. But I thought we could make it meaty. You know, you can hang out with me today and we can talk about all of the things. So definitely in the comments, let me know, how have you been this summer? What have you been up to? If you have been experiencing some life changes, you know, like what are those changes? And, you know, how's it going? How are you navigating it? Are you in a season of pause right now? Are you pushing through? Let me know in the comments. It can be hard to recognize, like, okay, I'm in this current season and I got this little baby music playing, so you hear that in the background. Oh, the sun came out. It can be hard to recognize that season and accept that, okay, what was working no longer works. You know, who I was no longer is. The things that I felt comfortable with are no longer there. And when you're stripped of all of those things, it can be a big identity shift. So first thing is just getting honest with yourself. And that doesn't always happen right away. You know, sometimes it might be quite a few weeks after you are dealing with the change. It could be months. I know for me, I think it was probably a couple months in that I finally was like, okay, I need to
really look at what I'm doing right now and really assess everything. And it wasn't until like about the 3 or 4 month mark when I finally decided, like, okay, I am going to pause things. I'm going to step away because if I'm honest, like I have been up and down dealing with like depression and not really feeling motivated and not feeling like I had anything really valuable to share. And so if you're feeling like that, it's kind of hard to then still show up, you know? And I'm grateful to be in a position where I could make that choice. You know, I'm so grateful for the support of like my husband with that. And even just like my community, especially like the ladies in the membership, they were really understanding of me just needing to take a beat and just see like, you know, who is Tatiana right now in this season. And because it was feeling too hard to try to continue as I was. And so that's definitely my first suggestion to you is just get honest with yourself. Like, where are you at? What no longer feels normal? What no longer feels like you can continue on at the same rate that you are? And I know that could be a hard pill to swallow. I know it can be, but if you don't do that first kind of inner work and just identifying where you are, it's so hard to do anything else. Okay, I keep forgetting that this camera has a microphone. I don't know what the sound is sounding like on this thing, so again, bear with me, okay? With new technology, yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna put this little mic on. I'm actually in Emery's bathroom right now because Landon is asleep in my room and my bathroom is attached to my room, and I don't want to wake him up while he's napping so that I can finish getting myself together. I wanted to record a couple of videos for my Amazon storefront. So this, I guess the second thing that I would say, like, y'all, it looks so good. It turned out really good. I ended up using, I was actually in her bathroom last night too, because again, same reason. But yeah, I just did it with my curling iron and I really like it. Definitely needs a little bit of some help with the edges. Finding joy is really the next natural step when you are trying to reset. Because if you're caught up in the change and, you know, the grief process, as I mentioned, and all of that, it can be really hard to be excited about where you are in your life. And I think that's one thing that I always have to remind myself too, is just that it is okay, even if it's something that is a blessing or something that you're excited about, it's okay to still have moments of just uncertainty, right? It's okay to have moments where you think back to like what life was before. I think that that's natural, and sometimes it can be easy to beat ourselves up about it, because even if it's a situation where like you moved and you're like, well, I prayed for this and I wanted this, and now, you know, it's been a little bit harder than I anticipated, and that's okay. You know, this is life, and it's not always going to be easy, even if it is something that we really wanted. You know, motherhood, it's the same thing. Like, our children are a blessing, but at the same time, there are hard moments in motherhood daily, okay? And it's okay to feel that. So in whatever season you're in, I want to first just say that, because what I'm getting ready to say is going to kind of counteract it. We went to a church service. I guess this would have maybe been like in May sometime. And the sermon was all about just like dealing with tough seasons, basically. And I was like, okay, of course, very fitting for a postpartum mom. And he was talking about James, kind of like those first couple of verses in James. So it was James 1 through, I want to say 4, but it was along the lines of, and I'll put it on the screen, it was along the lines of like, count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, the various trials that we go through, basically, in our life. Count it as joy. And it's such a weird comparison to put in the same sentence, joy and trials, right? Because it's like, okay, if I'm going through something difficult, the last thing I'm thinking about is the joy in it. The last thing that I am probably really even focusing on is what good is coming out of a situation. You know, you're just thinking about like the negative in it. And so even like I was telling my husband the other day, I'm like, you know, we're dealing with a season where like some nights Landon sleeps really well and then other nights he doesn't, you know, just kind of in that early stage. But I'm like, you know what? I want to really look at this as like a joyful time, because having a almost 7-year-old, y'all, my daughter's going to be 7 in a couple weeks, which is crazy. Having an almost 7-year-old, it changes your perspective so much, and it really gives you a new appreciation for the baby stage, because you know how quickly they grow and you know how quickly those stages come and they pass. And so even in the moments of frustration, even just with him, because with the snap now, I was like, you know what, I'm going to just take in this moment, because he will not be this small for very much longer. I mean, I can't even believe it. He's already going to be 6 months tomorrow. Like, what is life? Where's the time going? And so I'm trying to really change my perspective, and it's easier said than done, but to find the joy in the seasons. And so that is kind of the next thing that I have been doing, is just trying to find joy even when it feels frustrating, even when, I have like goals and things that I want to accomplish and things I want to achieve, but the timing is just not working out for me. I'm just not feeling motivated, which was a really big part of it. Was my motivation level was really just non-existent, and I felt like I really didn't recognize who I was. And so I had to look at other ways of finding joy, which usually might be like, doing things on this channel, or my membership and things like that. I really wanted to lean even more than I already do. I really wanted to lean into my immediate family here, and our quality time, and finding something that felt familiar to me that I know could bring me joy. Because especially when you're a new mom, sometimes it's kind of hard to see yourself in motherhood in those early days. And so I really tried to figure out, like, okay, what is something that I know makes me happy? And I was trying to figure out like what that was going to be for me. What is something I can focus on? And one thing that has always been such a nice just slice of heaven for me is walks. I love it. And I don't know what it is about just getting out, getting some fresh air, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes, if it's for 30 minutes, however long it might be. I love going on walks. And I had started kind of occasionally going on one. And it was funny because when I was really in this whole, like, just praying about closing my business and all of these different things, one of the main things that came up for me was this challenge. It kept coming up on my Instagram, because I also actually took a social media break too, y'all. So it was like literally, I think, a week or two before I was getting ready to start my social media break. I took a month off completely from all social media, even YouTube, which is crazy. I've never done that before. And I took a break. But before that, I saw this challenge, and I'm going to put it down below, because it was such a blessing to me. It was basically called, like, what was it called? 40 for 40 challenge or something like that. And so they sent me a medal and they sent me a shirt, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but it was basically a 40-day challenge to walk with God. And so you order your stuff, and I ended up ordering my stuff. I got a medal, I got a shirt, I got a little sticker, and all these things. Then they had a little pamphlet in there that kind of explained, they wanted you to read the book of John during the 40-day period, and then at least walk a mile a day. Or of course you could do other, like you could run or whatever the case is. And so I didn't realize like how much of a blessing that challenge was going to be for me, because you're supposed to go every single day. And if you know anything about me and you know when I walk, I usually am a morning walker. Okay. I usually like to get up out early and get walking. And I was feeling a little bit frustrated, because I was realizing, I'm like, that's just not always going to be realistic. Especially like some of these late night nursing sessions and different things. Like, I don't be having it in the morning sometimes to get up. And so I had to shift my perspective completely. Like, I had to really look at everything and be realistic with myself. And I'm like, I think I'm going to have to do evening walks. And so I started doing the evening walks. And y'all, when I tell you I love a good evening walk now, I did my 40-day challenge. Sometimes Emery and Landon came with me, because there was a bit of the challenge where my husband, he was out of town for work, and I still went with them both. And we went out in the evening. And then there's some mornings where I am feeling good and I'm able to get up and go. But every day for 40 days, I think I missed like one day, and I can't even remember why, but I ended up making it up. And yeah, and it was at least a mile. I ended up working up to like a mile and a half. Some days I did 2 miles of walking. And I really tried to fill it with either praying to God during that time, talking to God during that time, or listening to some kind of worship of some sort, or just having silence. That's what I wanted to do. And so I filled it with that time. I wasn't trying to like make videos, because sometimes I'll film when I'm walking. I wasn't trying to do any of that stuff because there's like a gnat that is really just not letting me be great right now. But yeah, it was amazing. And so I say all of that to say, find your joy in this season, whatever that looks like for you, because it may be different than what it was before. And that's okay. It's okay to change and evolve, right? And I had to accept, like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do the morning walks right now. And I've been able to, get them in a little bit more, especially like on the weekends and stuff, but it just wasn't realistic for me. But that didn't stop me from doing the challenge. And so that was one of the first things I did that really allowed me to prioritize myself. And it wasn't tied to me trying to, show up as like the face of something, like the business owner. I really just got to just be myself, and really for the first time look at myself as just a child of God, right? Just trying to connect with him, deepen my relationship with him. Through that, I ended up also getting into the book of James from that sermon. It kind of introduced me to it. And then I was like, okay, I want to get a little bit more into this. And overall, it's just been amazing. So yeah, that's the next thing, is just finding your joy. And now my joy in this moment is that I'm really liking my hair. I think I'm going to do a little bit of something to my edges, put some earrings on, figure out a shirt, and then I'll come back. Okay, so somebody woke up from their nap before I could finish the third video, but it's all good. I'm just taking a little bit of a break to transition to the third video. So I'm trying to do the Amazon on-site reviews. I already am an influencer on there and have that account set up, but I want to do the portion with the video reviews. I think it'd be kind of cool. And because we have so much stuff running from Amazon, as do a lot of us, right? So I did a review on my Moft phone case, which is really cool. It's kind of like a tripod. It's magnetic. And then I also have another review that I just did, and it's on this right now. It's a magnetic holder case, whatever you want to call it, for this camera, the DJI. And then I'm getting ready to record another one right now, the final one. She's supposed to submit 3. It's for this little baby bottle warmer thing. So this is nice because, and I can practice my talking points for the review, because it's only supposed to be like a 60-second-ish type video. But we got this right before we went out of town to Palm Springs for that conference that I spoke at. And I needed something like this because I would be pumping, and then the milk would be in the fridge, because there was a fridge in the hotel, and obviously you need to warm it up, especially he was not even fully a month yet. And so I'm like, yeah, we definitely needed something. So I found this on Amazon, and now we use it for both. So we use it for breast milk, and we also use it for formula, because we do a little bit of a combo of both. And you can just put the water in there for the formula. It's nice, and then it keeps it to the temperature, which is great. Of course, you have to keep it charged, but it fits in our diaper bag. We throw it in the car, and we're using it all the time, because we always go up to visit my grandparents at least once a month. So we have it for that, and then it's easy to just like warm up milk at their house when we're on the go, like driving and stuff, because it's a little bit of a distance away. This is the one I'm getting ready to record the video for next, and then I will be all done with those. And yeah. But the other thing that I have done in the past with transitions and stuff, and honestly, I think just in general, when you get to a point where you're feeling a little bit stuck or unsure about something, I think this is just a step that's necessary. But for me, it's just reconnecting back with myself and making sure that I'm connecting with God. And so like I talked about, I did that walk challenge, the 40-day thing. I'll have to show you the stuff that I got from it, because it's really nice. And they always have challenges. So apparently, like, I don't know how, I've never seen it before, but they do them all year round. So there's probably one going on right now currently, but the one I did was basically through June going into the beginning of July for the 40 days. And then they do different books. They have different metal designs and shirts and stuff. So it's really cool. And I highly suggest it if it's just like you're needing to do a little bit of something for yourself. You're wanting to connect with God, and then also like getting out and getting active. It's kind of like a win-win in a lot of areas. But connecting with God and yourself, I think, is a really big step when you are trying to just figure out how to be your new version of you in this new season of life. I know being a mom of two now, I just feel like I am trying to rediscover who I am and just who I want to be in the world, like how I want to show up. And I really had to kind of go back to the drawing board with a lot of things. I've been praying a lot more. I've been really getting into my word a lot more. Could always be better. I ended up getting that Dwell app. I actually got it by accident, but it's been such a blessing. And just trying to, as much as I possibly can, look to him for my struggles and the things that I'm dealing with. And especially when it comes to my business, like really just trying to lean on him and give me direction on what I need to do next. And it definitely has helped. So I highly suggest for find a devotional, find the walking challenge thing. I'll make sure I link it below because I cannot think of the name of the company. I don't know why. I feel like it's 40 something. I'll link it down below because it's not sponsored or anything. I just really enjoyed it a lot. They have a little Facebook community that you could be a part of during the challenge too. But yeah, it's just connecting with yourself and with God. And I think when you connect with God, naturally it becomes a connection with yourself, because it's almost like you get a mirror of the things that you're reading, the scripture, especially like the book of James, y'all. When I tell you, the book, I did listen to John as well, but James was really the one that got me in a lot of ways, especially because I felt like it really speaks a lot to the business side of the things that I'm kind of struggling with. And so I just was like, woo, sometimes it's like, it's hard to look at that mirror, you read that scripture and then you kind of getting the insight from the scripture and how it's hitting you. Sometimes it's like, ooh, okay, this is a lot to take in. But yeah, so definitely the connection, and it's going to look different for everybody. I mean, if you're a believer, of course, that's pretty natural, like a devotional prayer, find a prayer partner, get involved with one of like your connection groups at church, and really just lean in, right? Find like a creator here on YouTube. I love looking at people that do like Bible studies and stuff. One of my favorite ones is that Heart Dive one, and just getting into your word and learning a little bit more about who you are in the eyes of God. I think if nothing else, that's going to bring so much more clarity to where you might be feeling stuck, just simply because you know whose you are, okay? I'm going to try to get him occupied with a toy or something and try to record this review of this thing so that I can be done with this. It is currently 12:46, so I'm doing pretty good on time. I have about an hour and some change before we need to leave to go pick up Emery, so I think I think we can definitely make it happen. Okay, I'm getting ready to make myself some lunch. I have these leftover fajitas from the other night that I made, so I just made Landon a bottle, so he's over there chilling. And yeah, y'all, I got the last video recorded, so I'm happy. I feel accomplished. I'm like, now just fingers crossed that they get approved and I'm able to do it. So I will keep you posted. And if you have any questions about it, if you're interested, honestly, I don't know a ton as of yet, but if I'm able to get approved, which I'm speaking it into existence that yes, I'm going to be approved, I will definitely share more about it if it's something you've heard about or if you're interested in. Just another income source, basically a way to do something a little bit different online. The next thing is to focus on realistic goal setting, okay? I mean, I think it goes without saying that at some point, we got to get back to something. And for me, that has really been a lot of my business endeavors and things that I've wanted to do. I have just tried to really be realistic with, okay, what do I want to do this time around, as I come back? And the realistic part for me is just that I can't do like 10 things, so really trying to prioritize. So that's the next thing is, of course, you're going to have a lot of ideas and goals and things you want to do. Once you start kind of feeling like you're coming back to yourself, I feel like that always happens at some point, even if it is a new version of you, right? And for me, I always like to look at, okay, what is the immediate need? What is the top priority? I can't just do everything right now as much as I would like to. That would be wonderful. I can't do everything right now. And I really just wanted to kind of get back out here and just nurture my audience, show up for myself, kind of start working my consistency muscle again, get some income flowing. I mean, just those are some of the immediate needs and things that I wanted to focus on. And I have a lot of big goals and things that I want to accomplish, but I know that if I try to do all of that stuff, I'll be setting myself up for failure because, I'll be disappointed. I wouldn't be able to show up and do all of the things in this like tight timeline. So that is really the thing, is just being honest with yourself and really prioritizing, okay, what is my immediate need? Is right now I need to get to something that's going to give me some immediate income? Do I need to grow my business? Do I need to get more visibility? Or if it's more on a personal note, just what are the things that are really, that you're valuing right now? Where are the kind of like the gaps where you have just been really feeling it a lot in this transitional season where you have been ready to get back to it? Instead of trying to say, okay, I'm gonna do all 10 of these things, let's focus on 1 or 2 right now. And then also, don't try to plan so far out. When you're already dealing with a lot of change and just trying to understand where you are, the last thing that you want to do is be trying to think about like, okay, well, me a year from now, because you're still trying to figure out you currently, okay? And from moment to moment, you just don't know what you're going to get. At least that's been my situation. And so the way that I am combating that is by just focusing on a small amount of time. I've always been a person that really likes to go by quarter anyway, so that's pretty much normal for me. But more than ever, I'm even focusing on just like the next 1 to 2 months. But also, along with those realistic expectations, and this is another tip, is just make sure that you do still challenge yourself a little bit. Like, don't make it so easy that it's basically like, you're not really doing nothing. Give yourself a little bit of a challenge. Give yourself a little bit of a tight deadline on something for a quick win, especially. I think once you get a quick win, that kind of builds the momentum, and it reminds you of like, okay, I am that girl. Like, even though I might have had to step away for a while, even though I've been feeling a little bit kind of out of sorts, like I'm still me, right? She's still there. And for me, my quick win was just starting to kind of get back connected with my mailing list. And so that's what I've been focusing on. I've been focusing a lot on nurturing my email list, how I want to grow that, and just kind of seeing like the people that are on there, cleaning my list, the people that haven't been engaged in a long time. I really took a deep dive in that because email building is really something that I always stress here. I've talked about it for many years, and I actually have a series that's going to be coming up about email building. So definitely make sure you are subscribed if you're interested in, growing your email list, how to do it, how to nurture. And that has been a top priority for me, is really just focusing on the people that are already here and trying to figure out how I can nurture those people and just connect back after being gone for a while. So really figuring out what that is. And my quick win was just kind of getting out that first email. While it felt like a big lift at the time, now I look back and I'm like, that was great. I'm glad that I was able to check that off my list. And now it's just one step closer to the other goals that I have planned for the rest of the year. So I think it's great. And again, those goals are planned for the rest of the year, but I'm still really only focused on like August and September of this current time frame. Okay, so it's almost time for me to go get Emery. I was just on the phone with my grandmother for a little bit, catching up with her. And yeah, so now I'm going to try to accomplish the last thing I had on my list for today, which was content planning. I've kind of already done it a little bit. But yeah, I still have quite a bit more left to do. I'm doing like a combination of Notion and Google Drive, but I'm back in my sweatshirt and everything now. Landon has drooled on it and stuff. But honestly, I'm probably going to end up changing anyway because Emery has soccer practice tonight. And I know that I'm not about to be out there with a sweatshirt on. I just know that that's not going to work for the way the weather is set up. And another thing I just wanted to share about quick wins and all of that. So what I am trying to do now, anytime I have a goal, I always have a big goal in mind. That's never going to change. but I'm really trying to pare it down to what is something that I can do kind of on a smaller scale, but that still kind of gives me like that same joy, of accomplishing it. Because I know the reality is right now I can't do 2 videos a week, but that is something that I would like to get to amongst a lot of other things on my list, y'all. Okay. And I think showing up can be a goal. Showing up, that is something that can be hard to do when you are in seasons where you don't feel like yourself, where you feel like nothing is making sense. You're trying to just get back to whatever your new normal is. I think that showing up is a goal in itself, and it's important. And I didn't even have that in a point of what I was saying, but yeah, I mean, showing up is the goal. that is the thing that we are trying to do here. We want to take wherever we are right now. We want to get to wherever this next part of your goal is. And the only way to get there is to show up, right? And that's going to look different in different seasons. Whatever your level of I called it this in one of my trainings I did for the membership, your minimum show up level, okay? Like, what is that going to be? And that is going to change depending on where you are. Just like my show up level during like Q4 holiday season, when it is like the most hectic, is very different when I'm more like in Q3, into Q2, summertime type of showing up. It's just different. And that is something to recognize. You don't always have to be going at 100% at all times. And I'm not saying that means like, okay, drop your, y'all, when I tell you my brain is completely shot. But basically what I'm saying is you don't have to drop your level of, oh my gosh, what is the word I'm trying to say? Your quality, right? You don't have to drop your quality level. But what it's just meaning is like, it's okay to give yourself grace, and it doesn't have to be 100% at all times. It's okay to be imperfect and still make progress. It's okay to show up imperfectly. And that's what's happening over here, okay? That's what this whole vlog is, imperfect. You know, we got grunting in the background, all kind of things happening. And are you? But yeah, y'all, so it's interesting because as much as I want to just get right back into the swing of things, for one, it's just not realistic. But for two, I don't even know if that's what I want anymore. I don't know if I want to get back into that per se. And so I am really interested to see how things pan out, because I want to make some changes, and that definitely is going to reflect here on this channel. I'll still be talking about entrepreneurship, but I really have other endeavors and things that I want to do as well. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to evolve, right? We are going to be getting ready to get out of here pretty soon, actually. Yeah, it's 2 o'clock, so we're going to be leaving in about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to check on him, see what's going on, and I'll check in with y'all later. All right, Emery is back now, and she got a new science box, y'all. If you have not checked out KiwiCo's science boxes, they are cute. We've been getting them for a couple years now. This is the one today. It's rubber band blasters, and we just get it once a month. This one looks really cool, though. Is it seeming okay? Is it easy?
Yeah,
to put
but
together?
I can't get this in here, and it's stuck in here.
Hold on. Let me help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did it. Now next.
And then what is this? The things you're going to be shooting the rubber bands at?
Yeah.
I'm out here a little later than planned. It's so hectic, like just trying to get to that soccer practice and stuff. And I don't know, y'all, it's underrated trying to get more than one kid together. Like, I used to feel so flustered and overwhelmed getting Emery together, but it's like next level with both of them. And then also trying to be on time and also trying to get myself together. My husband was in the mix as well. So yeah, it was just, yeah, but we made it. We got there like a minute or two late, which was fine. And yeah, she did good. It definitely was hot for sure. But we had our drinks and all that stuff to stay hydrated, and it's like a 45 30-ish minute practice, so it wasn't too bad. But anyway, got in there, hung out, make sure everybody's getting baths and all that stuff, and then I just wanted to come out here and get a little bit of a walk in before it gets dark. I definitely have noticed since, like, I would say maybe more like June, July, I can tell that we're obviously nearing fall because it's starting to get darker a little bit sooner now. And I'm mad because I forgot my little microphone in the house. Another fail with this camera, y'all. But hopefully the sound isn't too bad. I can hear cicadas in the background. It's not too windy, so hopefully the sound isn't too bad. But I just wanted to wrap this vlog up and just really say thank you so much for watching the vlog. And I'm so happy to be back here in this space. I am really trying my best to get back to being consistent and showing up and just allowing myself to just be in this season, you know. Very not perfect at all, not in any way, shape, or form, but just wanting to show up and hopefully encourage someone, as I'm trying to encourage myself, y'all. Like, literally, these videos, a lot of times when I make them, it's to encourage myself just as much as the next person, because we all need that sometimes. And a lot of times the things that I would tell you are the things that sometimes I struggle with for myself. So that's why I really like just this online space, you know, when you find creators and just people that you really resonate with, because we all are going through different things. And I just love when people are real about what they're dealing with. I'm really grateful that you are here and that you have chosen for me to be someone that you watch. And so if you have made it this far in the video, then I want you to just comment down below, I'm here. And yes, I'm so glad that you are here, and we are going to continue to ride this thing out. But the last thing I wanted to say, the last kind of point, is to not give up. Okay, it's one thing to step away and to pause, take breaks, hear from God. I think we all need that. It's healthy. It doesn't make sense for us to just go. I mean, God literally rested on the 7th day, so we all can rest, right? So that is definitely a thing for sure. But I think it's important to come back to the things that are on your heart, the things that you're called to do, even if it's a year later, right? Even if it's several months later, years later. Don't lose that. I am grateful for this season, even though it has had many ups and downs, many challenges, still a lot more to come. You know, it's not a, you know, closing your business down, pausing your business. I mean, that's income, right? Like, it's not a light decision to make. And so it definitely has affected things in different ways. But mental health wise, I'm like, it was worth it. And for that, I'm just so grateful. That's the word that's coming to mind for me. It's just grateful. Yeah. And so I just encourage you, do not give up on your dreams, whatever they are, the desires of your heart. Like, lean into those, pray about them, seek the Lord on those. Find others, you know, that are doing similar things to you. One of the things I love is, like, when people send me emails and they're just like, hey, you know, I've been checking out your videos and stuff. I'm doing XYZ. You know, I would love to chat, or I have a question. Like, I love to be able to help people, you know, get ahead of what it is that they're trying to do. And so I encourage you to do that same thing. You know, just get out there, and we need community. It can be very easy to just stay stuck in our bubble and to want to just be alone. And sometimes that is needed. But I found that for me, like, I was going inward a little bit too much. I know a lot of that is hormones and, you know, having a baby, and it's just sometimes it comes with the territory. But it was rough, and I'm not fully out of it, but I'm out of it enough to where I can recognize and look back at myself then and be like, yeah, I was definitely struggling a lot. But I am happy to be here and just encouraging you, whatever it is that you are dealing with, whatever rocky season you may be in, whatever you are grieving, whatever you've lost, you've given up, you know, whatever you've gained that may be a lot to take on. There are so many things in this life that we have to be grateful for. And so these walks for me, it's just been so much more than just like exercise, to just have a moment of solace, you know, amongst the chaotic day, to look forward to this. And so most days I get out here and I do this, and I encourage you to show up for yourself, okay? Show up for yourself, whatever that looks like. This is coming from a mom, new mom of 2, almost 6-month-old, okay? Homeschooling, an almost 7-year-old, trying to run a business, married, you know, got lots of relationships, friends, family, different things that I'm trying to balance, on top of just trying to take care of my own mental health. So I get you, I feel you, I'm there with you, but there's got to be some room for you in that. So that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure, if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, okay? Like, just go ahead and support, especially you know you done watched quite a few videos. I done seen that a lot of y'all be watching, but you don't be subscribing, so definitely do that. Support me, support your girl, okay? I will definitely be coming back with videos a lot more regularly, and yeah, look out for that email building series that is next on the list. And yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my walk, but thanks for watching. Bye.